monkey business. But the actual solving the problem part, like, first off, is figuring out the problem, because you may get a crash, but you may not exactly know what the problem is. And then figuring that out and then solving that in a way that doesn't introduce regressive problems is the rewarding part. The coding part, that just takes forever. You know? That's like talking to you and solving a problem, I guess, is, you know, the communication of the information takes forever. That's all. But I started programming when I was pretty young. Earliest memory I have of what could be considered programming is going on a BBS and downloading the extractor for the Dune 2 files, and reprogramming the levels so that my Atreides had Death Hand missiles and Devastators, and you just since the Atreides missions were not built to handle that, you would just wipe the fuck out of everyone with that stuff. So,
see, my extent of my programming knowledge is 10 print fart, 20 go to 10.
It's a lot of hearts, dude.
No, I said fart.
Oh, 10 print fart.
20 go to 10.
You had stuffed cabbage too, did you?
I used to drive the people in the computer lab crazy with that shit.
Fart, 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 fart.
Now, this was back in the day when no one knew how the fuck a computer worked, and it's like early 80s, and we had like the apples, and we were using Logo, you know, the little turtle, the Logo turtle. Oh, yeah. And before I would leave the computer lab, I would be like, "And print fart to go to and leave," and just like fart. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been cool if you could have piped that out to an FM synthesizer too. That would have been awesome. Alrighty, let's do one more question, then take another break here for the hour.
Okie dokie.
Dennis the Dutchie writes in, is there any way to digitally filter the audio output towards my speakers? Route all audio sounds through an adjustable bandstop filter? I don't mind if I have to calculate the differential equation myself, but I was wondering if there was a program that lets you do the audio signal, that lets you alter the audio signal in real time.
Some sound cards let you do it. I don't know if there's software.
I've had problems with this trying to run a live show. Not this particular thing, but in trying to get this stuff done in real time. To my knowledge, altering the audio output in real time...
usually not.
No. Because
Windows 7 at least has the possibility to do it.
Yeah, with the way the underpinnings work, it's not a... To give you I have to get a lot of the audio effects I do, like multiband compression and limiting and all that shit. I have to use a collection of VST and ActiveX plugins on Winamp. I have to kind of tie them all together to make it work properly. And that only works for Winamp. Anything that Winamp plays, it fixes the sound. It won't work system-wide. And just for input, like from my microphone, I've never found a way to do that in real time. The noise gate and the multiband compression, the limiter for my vocal stuff, has to go through an actual multiband compressor, a dynamics processor. It's an actual rack box in order to get the level adjustment in real time. The computer can't do it.
Yeah,
I don't know of any way to make it do it.
Even with an Osio driver, you wouldn't be able to do it real time, I don't think.
Yeah, well, the X5 is the only card that can do it.
Yeah.
But then, well, it has a nice interface to configure it, but if you want to do anything more with it, you can't add a differential equation to that. Say go.
We bitched about this earlier. Windows 7's, even XP to some degree, the audio API for Windows is not designed for this shit.
No.
And that's on purpose.
Well, XP was kind of like throw it to the sound card, it would do stuff with it.
Yeah.
And Windows kind of tried to replace everything.
Yeah, because they tried to replace everything because the recording, the entertainment industries are dicks.
Yeah.
But you would have the possibility to do this on 7 with like virtual audio cables and stuff like this.
There would be a lag though. Virtual audio cables always lag.
That's a problem. It would be a lag.
Yeah, it's maybe you can figure out a way to do it in Linux, but good luck.
Oh,
Windows
Linux could probably do it.
Windows, your best bet is to do all of this stuff off your computer. Get a couple rack mount stuff and then pipe it into the computer. Let the racks do the work, and then send it to the computer's input, and that's your best bet.
Alrighty, I think I don't really have an answer for you. I'm sorry. I think that's the best way to do it.
You know what we need? We need like sound shaders. Like
We do actually. We need audio
vertex
shaders. Yeah,
and fragment shaders for graphics cards. We need audio shaders.
that would actually be really useful.
Yeah. What you kind of have to do in order to make this work, because you're not doing it in the software, you have to take the computer's output, pipe it through a rack that would do your band stop filtering and all the other effects and stuff you need done. Pipe that into a mixer that could go from low impedance to high impedance, and then pipe it back into your sound card's input. It seems like a fucking long way around, but that is your best fucking option. Thanks, Microsoft.
Well, that's it for Hour 3 of the How to Do It Marathon. Thank you so much, Microsoft. We'll be back shortly with Hour 4 of the How to Do It Marathon, and more of your questions, and maybe even a couple of questions from the Mumble chat, if you guys want to get it on the Mumble chat. That's lordcat.com. Don't forget the live stream, the alternate live stream, if you want to listen in on the audio only.
Audio.
Live365.com, the Live365 app on your Android or iOS device. And look for Radio Dead Air on it. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, Radio Dead Air. Where you can get us. And don't forget, by the way, Radio Dead Air every Monday night, except, are you going, you went last night, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Radio Dead Air every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, live.radiodeadair.com. And we'll be back.
We are doing New Year's Eve.
Excellent.
We're counting down live.
Excellent. And we'll be back shortly with the continuation of the live How to Do It Marathon.
Okay, I have to poop, and when I come back, I have a sort of a project I was kind of working on I'll talk about it. It may be helpful to other people, but...
Yeah, absolutely do.
I go poop. I'll be back.
Go poop. Oh, yeah, that was good.
I have no idea why I can program. It just happened.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why. I can just I mean, I'm like, again, I'm not the most accomplished programmer. I'm not the most amazing programmer. It's just I kind of grasp it, and it is what it is, you know.
Code, and I just as soon as I solved it in my head, like the problem I want to solve.
Yeah.
I can just type it down.
No, for me, it's mostly I can do that, unless it's. Unless I run into language type of problems where object sharing, things like that, and then you got to work through that. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
You know what I want for every language? Like a list of modules, and like just the name. The name is enough. Like if I got a long list and I scroll, okay, I need to build an HTTP request. How do I do? And it says like, okay, here's like HTTP retrieve, and I'm like, okay, I want this probably. Just need a list of what they're named, or if it's called URL or LVP, something like this.
Check out what I found, dude. It's called ALEVT, or ALEVT, or LVT. You know what it does?
No.
It's an X11 browser for teletext/video text.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you need a capture card to use it?
It only works with one card called a BTTV. I don't know what that is. Also, I don't know of any teletext or video text in the United States anymore.
Probably Broadcom. BTTV. Probably Broadcom.
Probably.
Wait, I had something similar on my Linux when I had my capture card in. I just installed video for Linux.
I love V4L. It's amazing.
Somebody should port that to Windows.
V4L is amazing. It just fucking everything works. Like what?
Video for Windows, on the other hand,
Ugh. Nightmare. In some cases.
literally somebody saw QuickTime and said we want that too.
Basically, yeah.
No, yep. That's what happened. Then QuickTime, the software is shit, but the concept, kinda good.
Concept's great. Software's a piece of ass.
It was basically just the idea of hardware acceleration.
Yeah.
QuickTime. We have a graphics card. Let's use that.
Wait, what? Oh. What? Gregorio is a project with lots of functionalities. The main interest is GABC, a simple and fast language to describe a Gregorian chant score.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Yo, Nash, just proving that everything exists in Linux. Listen to this. Gregorio is a project with a lot of functionalities. The main interest is GABC, a very simple and fast computer language to describe a Gregorian chant.
Why would you?
Everything exists on Linux.
Everything exists on Linux.
There's a computer language that exists to pragmatically describe a Gregorian chant.
God bless Linux.
Well, somebody needed it. And then
Someone
said,
somewhere needed this. I don't know who.
And then he said, I can't take money for this.
It's like, how am I going to
Let's
fucking
make it open
monetize
source.
this?
I just like that. We have many functionalities.
Nerd.
Does true love exist on Linux? If you use Linux, you're already in love.
Yeah.
Appcast search.
It's an abusive relationship, but you are in love.
No, it's not abusive. It's kind of like a special ed relationship, and you're the caretaker. Like, you have to show it how to do its thing, and then it can finally do it. But you have to show it first.
And never forget, though.
No, it never forgets. Oh my God, the Ice WM. Oh my, Ice Windows Manager still exists. An OS2 like window manager. Oh God. I'll pass.
FVWM95 still exists, so.
Yeah, that's true. KDE still exists, unfortunately. So does GNOME. Ugh.
Dark.
Alrighty, ready for hour 4?
Yes, and I have something to start with.
Oh, you have something to start with. All right.
Yes.
Alrighty, let me run an ad real quick, and then we'll start hour 4.
Okie day.
Ad is running. Ad is running all night long. Welcome back to hour 4 of the live How to Do It Marathon, Christmas Day Marathon, alongside Maluku Saito. I'm Jason Pilar. Gentlemen, how has your marathon been thus far? 4?
He's still
4.
good. Good.
We're running
Good
out
so
of questions. We can only do questions if they're questions.
Well, if we run out of questions, we'll dick around for a bit,
Yes,
and,
we'll dig around for a
and then
bit.
we'll get back to, having Christmas Day with the rest of our family.
Yes.
Alrighty, Nash, you said you had something for us.
Yeah, I was in the process of working on a Christmas present for someone, and I'm not going to go in too far more into it because I haven't given it to him yet, and you guys will spoil it. So no, because people listening are assholes. I love you guys. But part of it I wanted to talk about was something that might help some of you, especially if you're having problems with your either your car stereo or your home stereo or some of those things. Have you ever been listening to a song in your car and you've got the bass up a little bit or the volume up a little bit and you're listening to your LMFAO or your Katy Perry and it sounds like someone is farting in the background?
You know me so well.
I know you so well. And obviously, the correct response to LMFAO or Katy Perry or the like is loud and long flatulence. But no, that's not what's happening here.
Uh-oh.
Resonance.
This is something that it's commonly referred to weirdly as speaker farting. It's got other references too. You hear rattles in your speakers, or you hear.
Are you talking? You're not talking GSM buzz, are you?
No, something else. If your speakers are rattle or farting or issues like that, it's called farting. What's causing it is this is the basics of your speaker. Even today, they're all pretty much designed the same. The basics of a speaker is it's a magnet that moves back and forth in a coil based on the signal strength of the electricity going through it. And it moves it up and down, and that's what creates the sound. Around that coil is a cone, and it's typically made out of paper. And around that paper coil is a flexible rubber foam that connects the paper to what's called the metal frame of the speaker. It's referred to as the basket. When that farting is happening, a couple things might be causing it. The first is if you've turned up your volume too loud in the past, you have blown a speaker. Now that sounds horrible and it sounds like it's dead and gone. What's actually happened is you put so much power through. Yeah, the paper has a hole in it because you put so much power through it, you actually busted that paper cone. That's okay. There's a way to fix it without having to buy a new speaker. You take the speaker out of the out of your car, bring it inside, and disassemble it to the point where you can get at that paper. You normally just need a couple screwdrivers or something. Just remember where the screws go and how it goes back together. When you can access that paper, what you need is a bottle of clear nail polish and rolled toilet paper, 2-ply. You take your toilet paper, split that 2-ply until you get individual sheets. Then it's kind of like putting on a self-made Band-Aid. You measure out the toilet paper and cut it until the squares are big enough to fit over that hole in the paper. Press it together to make sure it's kind of flat and even and everything, and then take the nail polish and make a light coat over the paper. Now, why nail polish? Because nail polish as an adhesive and a glue is flexible, which is what you need here. You cover over it with that toilet paper. You put on the nail polish. It will harden the toilet paper, but remain flexible, and you've patched that hole in your paper in the cone. Therefore, your speaker should work just fine again, just like brand new. I do it one on one side, one layer of toilet paper on one side with the nail polish, then flip it over, and on the back, do the same thing over the hole until the hole is sealed up again, and you're good to go. The other problem that could be causing this is, I mentioned that foam rubber ring that connects the paper to the basket. That's kind of the bouncy bit. It kind of works like a rubber band. It's what keeps the coil and the cone moving back and forth, but keeps it steady so it doesn't just rattle around in all different directions. It keeps it lined up properly. That foam, in a lot of cases, can over time rot and wear down and separate from either the paper or the basket. There are two solutions to this. One is very bad, but if you're cheap, and one is the way you're supposed to do it. For car stereos in particular, this is very easily done. It's called a foam surround repair kit. You just find it for the exact size of your speaker, and they'll send you a new ring of that foam, plus direction and special glue, plus directions on how to cut out the old ring and replace it with a new one and glue it back together. Not very expensive. You normally get these kits for under $20, and your speaker will be like new again. The cheap and not recommended way, however, is the good old standby. duct tape. You take duct tape and very carefully go around the edge of that speaker basket and duct tape the basket to the paper. This will work as a temporary fix, but make sure that that cone can still move up and down freely. This, again, I stress, this is temporary until you can either get a proper foam repair kit or replace the speaker altogether. Make sure it can still move up and down. Why? Because if you do this and the cone can't move up and down, you are going to tax the amplifier that's trying to move that magnet to the point, could in theory, blow your amplifier out. So only do this, be very careful when you're doing it, but you can restore a speaker. I just had to do this with the duct tape, because I thought one speaker was blown, it turned out to be both. So in order to do a temporary fix, I use the duct tape. I am going to replace the speaker. It's a specialized, also fuck GM in the ass, because GM decided in their infinite wisdom on some of their sound systems to make a proprietary speaker. I have never heard of this anywhere else in my life. The speaker, it's a subwoofer, woofer, and tweeter all built into one speaker. You can only get it from the factory. You can try to replace it with an aftermarket, but in doing so, you're better off replacing it aftermarket with an entirely new amplifier and stereo system. So fuck GM. So I had to temporarily patch fit the duct tape until I can get a new speaker from the OEM dealer. Fuck GM, and yeah. But I would recommend using the use duct tape temporarily, or if you have the time, get a foam repair kit. But yeah, and for fixing holes in the paper, toilet paper and clear nail polish, and you can fix your speaker up, no problem. Hopefully that might help some of you if you're having car stereo or home stereo issues.
Well, we're going to take a question from Mumble, and unfortunately he doesn't have a working headset right now, but as Ash asks, I have a problem with a USB Bluetooth dongle. It's a plug-in. It's dongle. Dongle. I use this for my wireless Bluetooth headset. However, the device detects, but Bluetooth just doesn't do anything. I double-click on the Bluetooth control panel. Not much happens. The cursor changes to like the spinning Windows' working circle and appears for a few seconds, and then nothing happens. It's a Rocketfish Bluetooth dongle.
Well, there's your problem.
Uh-oh. There's your problem. What's wrong with that one?
Rocketfish, if you've ever been to Best Buy, Rocketfish is one of their... Rocketfish is like Dynex. It's one of their bottom-of-the-barrel generic store brands.
Yay, Rocketfish.
I know you can get Rocketfish stuff elsewhere, but Best Buy tends to carry it a lot. It's crap. It's crap. I'm willing to bet the dongle is just a bad quality dongle, and that's what's giving you your problem.
But for Bluetooth, usually the question, which driver stack is it? Because before Microsoft essentially made a workable driver stack, there were different out there. There's a Broadcom stack, there's plenty of stacks.
Hell, there's a different TCP/IP stack for Windows if you really wanted to go with it.
No.
No. I just thought I'd point that out.
Things I do not want to replace TCP/IP stack.
There are intricate parts of the operating system that just don't need to be fucked with, and that's one of them.
Yes.
So if you're trying to get to the internet to figure out how to uninstall this thing because it doesn't work, then you're kind of boned.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Yep.
But back to the Rocketfish Bluetooth device. What do you recommend?
Yeah, try to figure out if it's used the Microsoft stack, the Bluetooth stack. Just type in your name thing and Bluetooth stack. And if it doesn't, try to install the Microsoft thing. Uninstall the drivers, install the Microsoft Bluetooth stack again. That might fix it. Otherwise, Bluetooth.
My current workaround is moving all the USB devices around, and eventually I will hit a configuration that will work.
I think better get a proper one. You can get cheap ones on the internet. I found it was like $4.99.
Yeah,
Works perfectly.
Kensington is a much better brand. And if you check Newegg, Kensington's got a pretty well rated one, like 4 or 5 eggs. There are others as well. I look for a new Bluetooth adapter. That's my recommendation, because Rocketfish is, everyone I talk to who has ever had a Rocketfish anything, it's crap.
I agree. I've never owned anything good Rocketfish or anything good Dynix either. Actually, that's not true. I've owned a Dynix 19-inch DVD TV combo, and it worked really well. It still works to this day. I would say that was one of the better ones I've owned. But Rocketfish, wouldn't recommend them at all. I think that might be the problem too. I agree with you.
Rocketfish's penis.
Rocketfish's penis. Alrighty, let's move on to Sonic Av's 2 questions. One, since Nash told me I sound like I'm on a cell phone with my current headset, I'm looking for a shiny new microphone, as high quality as I can afford within a reasonable budget. I've been suggested the following: the Audio-Technica AT2020, 70 pounds, $100, but needs phantom power too, so bump that up to $150. Or the Blue Yeti, 120 pounds, or $160, USB powered. Those are all roughly within my price range. I'm also planning on a decent boom, shock mount, and pop screen along with the purchase. Any other suggestions are welcome. Anything I would buy, I've primarily been able to handle singing and voice acting, also down to general chatting and voiceovers, though there's nothing like a huge PA. Actually, Gav, the AT2020 actually does have a USB one, and it's it's about the same cost. So I would, however,
I'm confused.
Say that again?
Isn't that the same, Gav? Did he just say the words budget?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's Gav. But no,
Proud of you, Gav.
It's Sonic Gav. It's our Gav. It's the Gav we know, the refrigerator. You know him. The AT. Listen, I have the AT2020. I've used the AT2020. There is a USB version of the AT2020. It works absolutely fine. Sounds great. Does not sound like this microphone. Doesn't sound like Nash's high-end microphone. But it sounds perfectly reasonable. Works really well. In fact, the AT2020 is the microphone I used before I got this microphone. So if you go back into the archives and you listen to the late night streams that were on Ustream, when I left the microphone on by accident, I didn't realize everyone was listening in, and Fidget Jen was back there in the day, counting the number of farts I had during my sleep. The chat room was kind of creepy back in the day. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Chat room was really fucking creepy back in the day. I didn't realize they could hear me from across the room back then. But it's really good. The only problem with both microphones for professional singing and voice acting is you are going to get a lot of room noise, a lot of ambient noise. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to build one of those isolation boxes.
Which isn't hard.
And I'm not talking about an isolation box around you, just a small one. I think Takahata actually has a tutorial up on YouTube, or you can bug him, Takahata101 on Twitter, on how to actually build one of those. It's just like 4 pieces of wood stapled together with some foam.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Now, I would recommend the Yeti myself for a couple reasons. Number one, it's got some features that are, if you're kind of using it for a little more high-end stuff, it's got some useful features, like it's got built-in gain control, it's got its own master volume, it's got a headphone output so you can monitor exactly how it sounds as you're recording, which is really kind of useful. And you said you wanted to use it as a shotgun or a mic stand. The Yeti includes a standard microphone mount threading, so you can screw it on to a standard microphone stand and whatnot. It's a really good one. It's got really good quality. It can do stereo recording. It can do different polar patterns. It's really nice. It's a nice one. It might cost you a little bit more, but in the long run, I'd recommend it. The Yeti's a pretty good unit.
Yeti's a very good unit. AT2020 also a very good unit. Both of them, though, for professional use, you are going to have to build an isolation box, and you are going to have to take, both of them are going to have, their downfalls, but they are very, very good units and surprisingly cheap for the quality that they both offer. His second question is, I'm looking to replace my computer with something pretty hefty. I'm looking for a bit of a shopping list.